Hello, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that knows that it may take a village to raise a child, but it takes a Viking to raise a village. Speaking of Vikings, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at Legendary Heroes of Asgard from Upper Deck. Legendary Heroes from Asgard from Upper Deck is the latest expansion to the legendary deck-building Marvel game. And in this one, you take on the roles of the various characters from the Thor saga within the Marvel comic books. You've got, of course, new heroes, new masterminds, new villain groups, new schemes, all sorts of fun new keywords. Let's go ahead and take a look. First of all, let's examine the keywords in this new set. Now, one of the big concepts in Heroes of Asgard revolves around being worthy. Are you worthy? Can you wield a certain weapon or artifact only if you're worthy? You can draw a card if you're worthy, etc., etc., etc. Well, how are you worthy? Essentially, you're worthy if you have a card either in your hand or that you played that turn that has a cost of 5 or more. So you want to go after those 5 and higher cards as soon as you can because they will let you be worthy. It will give you more power, more access to do fun things during the game. Now, you also have artifacts in this game. We've seen this before in Guardians of the Galaxy. These are cards you can just kind of lay out in front of you permanently that give you a persistent bonus. But here you also have thrown artifacts. I believe we've seen these before as well, meaning you can lay them out. They don't necessarily do anything when they're out in front of you, but when you choose to throw them, meaning you actually take that card and put it at the bottom of your deck, you can then use whatever special ability it gave you for that round, be it more recruit or more attack or whatever. You also have Villainous Weapons. Now, Villainous Weapons are part of the villain group decks. Most of the cards are traditional villains, but 2 of the cards are Villainous Weapons. These Villainous Weapons, when they come out, they are attached to villains in the city or to the mastermind. They usually make them harder to kill, give them more attack value to their printed attack value strength. We also have the Conqueror keyword. Now, we've seen the Conqueror before. This is Conqueror Sewers, Conqueror's Rooftops, Conqueror Bridge, etc., etc., etc. And it means that if that villain is in that space at that specific time, they gain that much more attack. So if it's like Bridges 2, Conqueror Bridges 2, then they're worth 2 more attack strength when they're on the bridges. You also get some of the hero cards that come out that have that same thing, meaning you have more attack when you're attacking that specific spot. Now, you have 2 new villain groups. You have the Omens of Ragnarok, and you also have the Dark Council. And they serve, of course, the Masterminds. The Masterminds in this set are Hela, and then, of course, you also have Malekith, the Accursed, who is, I believe, a Dark Elf. Now, you also have 5 new heroes in the set. First of all, of course, you have Thor. Thor is one of the biggest, baddest characters in the Marvel Universe, and he's got a lot of great abilities, usually revolving around being worthy. His most expensive, most powerful card is the Royal Decree. This is a cost 8. It gives a base 5 attack. And then if you have the Thor symbol, if you've played another card that has the Thor symbol, each player who is worthy draws a card. Each villain that isn't worth at least 5 victory points gets -1 attack on this turn, making them easier to take down that turn. You have Valkyrie, and Valkyrie's most powerful card is Ride of the Valkyries. It's a cost 7. It gives a 4+ base attack strength. It's a Streets Conqueror 1, and if you play an Instinct symbol, if you play another Instinct symbol, you get +1 attack for every 4 heroes in the KO pile. You've got the Warriors 3. And the Warriors 3 most expensive card is 3 Stand as 1. It is a cost 8, and it is a base 4+ attack. Now, if you played at least 3 other non-gray heroes with different card names this turn, you get an additional +3 attack. Also, if you played the Thor symbol, you get Street Conqueror 3. You have Lady Sif, and her most powerful expensive card is Golden Apples of Idun. It is a cost 7. Now, it doesn't have any base attack or recruit, but it is a thrown artifact. When you throw it, you get +4 attack, and you can KO a card from your hand or discard pile. And finally, you've got Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill's most powerful card is the Warship Scuttlebutt. Now, the Warship Scuttlebutt is a cost 8. It's got a base attack of 4. It reads, you may discard a card, then count the number of cards you discarded from your hand this turn. Draw that many cards. And this expansion also comes with 4 schemes. So let's go ahead and take a look at those schemes. You have the Dark World of Svartalfheim. Its setup requires 10 twists. The twist is, you put the twist next to the city space or HQ space that doesn't already have one, and that becomes Eternal Darkness. The special rules read, villains in the city spaces with Eternal Darkness get +1 attack. To recruit a hero in an HQ space with Eternal Darkness, you must pay an extra +1 recruit. Evil wins when all city spaces or all HQ spaces are covered in Eternal Darkness. You have the Asgardian Test of Worth. The setup has 11 twists. On twists 1 through 7, each player who is not worthy discards a card. Then, if at least half the players, round up, are not worthy, you put this twist next to the scheme as a moral failing. Twist 8 through 11, you put this twist next to the scheme as a moral failing, and the evil wins when there are 5 moral failings. You have Ragnarok, Twilight of the Gods. This scheme has 11 twists. For the twist, you choose a villain from your victory pile worth at least 2 VP to enter the city. Then, if the total attack of villains in the city is at least as high as the Guardian attack value listed below, you put this twist next to the scheme as a Guardian defeated. So there's a list of twists and how much their the attack value, total attack value would be worth, and evil wins when there are 5 Guardians defeated. And finally, there's War of the Frost Giants. This scheme has 9 twists, twists 1 through 7. This twist enters the city as a Frost Giant invader. It's a villain worth 6 VP and with 6 attack. And the ability, if you are not worthy, this gets +4 attack. On twist 8 or 9, the same effect. Then the Frost Giant invader from each player's victory pile enters the city, and evil wins when there are 5 Frost Giant invaders in the city and or escape pile. So there's a lot of good content in this new expansion. Of course, like I said, you got the heroes, you've got the villain groups, you've got the masterminds, and you've got the schemes. And it's good because not all of the small box expansions have the schemes, so it's cool to see new schemes here. And I haven't played them all. I played a couple of them, and I really enjoyed the schemes I played. I thought they were a lot of fun. Looking forward to playing the others soon. I played with both masterminds. Hela is hella hard. She is very difficult. She can easily become more powerful, particularly depending on the scheme, and if she gets some of those weapons, she can be a very powerful figure to take down. Malekith, I think, was a good balanced figure. He's tough, and he can become very tough, but it's manageable. It's not a hard one to play. And I played this because of the quarantine. I've been playing this one solo, and they've been great solo games. I usually play solo games with two hands, and really have enjoyed this. I think this is a really fun expansion. Probably one of my favorite ones that have come out lately. Although, I don't know, I really like Revelations a lot. And I like Dimensions a lot. So I like them all. This one's actually a lot of fun, though. I really like Heroes of Asgard, and I am really looking forward to playing it again. Just a note here, too, you may notice that I was playing on one of the brand new Upper Deck playmats that came out for Legendary. They have, I think, a couple of these new playmats have come out. This one is absolutely beautiful. You've got evil Thanos there, and the heroes kind of rushing to attack him, but it's got space for everything, and you've got a lot of it's a big, giant mat. It's much bigger than the mat that came with the Marvel Phase 1 version here. So there's a lot of room here to play on, and I really like this mat. This is going to be my go-to mat for the Marvel Legendary games from here on out. Really like the play mat. I definitely recommend that, and I definitely recommend the Heroes of Asgard expansion. So the recommendation for both the play mat and the Heroes of Asgard expansion is, if you love Legendary, babies, buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We are The Discriminating Gamer. And speaking of Vikings, ladies and gentlemen, I'm reminded of the old story of that great evil Viking, Rudolph the Red. And he had this penchant where he could always tell the weather. And one time he got into that argument with his wife, who said, "It's hailing." And he said, "No, it's raining." And she said, "No, it's hailing." And he said, "No, it's raining." Finally, she said, "Well, how do you know it's raining?" And he says, "Because Rudolph the Red knows rain, dear."
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where
Yeah, when we went to dinner last week, you left before the check came, and I picked it up, so